Hello everyone and welcome. Today we're going to be doing another showcase video. As I'm continuing to get through these Deathwing Knights, I don't really want to do repetitive videos painting the same model multiple times and multiple weeks in a row. So I went ahead and just did another kind of showcase of the HQ kind of character models I have featured in my Dark Angels army. And some of them aren't necessarily HQ character models, some of which are just kind of like the elite unique soldiers of the Dark Angels army. And I figured, let's show those off. It's something a little bit different, similar to the Iron Warriors video. And we could just go through and take a look. So first and foremost here, we have the completed most recent video, Deathwing Knight. And it looks absolutely fantastic. And kicking it off where it all began, Lionel Johnson, the Primarch of the First Legion. One of the most ambitious painting projects I've ever done. Just from top to bottom, whether it's the shading, the highlights, the metallics that are everywhere, the base that requires a ton of attention, the intricate little details on his shoulders and shin guards and all that stuff. This was no simple model. And one of the things I really appreciate and pride myself on is, one, doing the helmeted version. A lot of people do the helmetless or the hooded version, which I think is just not as cool in my opinion. One thing I also pride myself on is utilizing the dry brushing, starting with a really, really dark black base and then working it up with the highlights to finally get those kind of green reflective hues that shine through, the traditional art style of Lionel Johnson. Next up, we have Azrael, Supreme Grand Leader of the Dark Angels. One of the cool things about him and his whole lore is that all the successor chapters of the Dark Angels still all follow his order. If there's anything that requires a huge congregation of Dark Angels, he's still the guy. This is one of my first huge and individual character models. That banner snapping off almost every single time I play. Really went crazy on the highlights there. This being one of my first characters, like I said before, it was one of the early paint jobs I've ever done with characters, and I tried to do the best I can with it. And I think some parts of it look awesome. I think other parts of it really needed some work. One of the awesome, unique models of the Dark Angels are the Inner Circle Companions. Some of my absolute favorite models, and one of the best to get if you're a big kit basher, because there's just so much bits and options that these guys have. From the Firstborn style helmets, to the robed power armor, and the unique power packs with the little sigil on top. It looks fantastic. Heavy bolt pistol is not too crazy, but the sustained hits one sweep, or the lethal hits stab, these guys pack a serious punch on the tabletop. Not to mention, pairing them up with Azrael, they get the 4-up invuln save. It's pretty serious, and often a sneaky pick with 3 wounds apiece. Again, this is one of my early models, just utilizing a lot of edge highlighting for the first time. If I can go back, I'd probably do some dry brushing, because I prefer that instead now. But just using a little bit of a cold blue over a black, kind of just to give it some definition. The Val Gorback red was the robe color that I used, and then a crap ton of Retributor armor for gold. I think the little Dark Angels logo on the side there, I used a very bright red from Pro Acryl. If I were to go over this again, I'd probably use more of a corn red, just kind of bring the hue down. But very unique models. Some of those power packs there are actually from the Deathwing Knights. Oh, sorry, I should say Ravenwing Knights kit, which is a fantastic model to pick up for bits. Moving along, we have the Deathwing Knights, which is the current project. I hope you guys saw the last video. These are my first Deathwing Knights, so they're really creamy, as opposed to my new ones, which are really grimy. But they're still fun. It was my first attempt, and I needed these elite Terminators, because normal Terminators pretty much suck. They do not pack the same punch as normal or these elite versions do. So anytime you can get some elite unique Terminators on the field, always choose that option, unless they're the Assault Terminators, Thunderhammers. Those guys hit pretty damn hard. But the Deathwing Knights reign supreme, in my opinion. Again, a lot of steps that I don't technically use anymore. Edge highlighting, I prefer dry brushing. A lot of different washes that I don't use anymore, like Lead Belcher with, looks like Agrex Earthshade over top. I don't even know what I was thinking then, but again, that's progressing as a painter. If you guys look at the other videos, you'll see what I prefer now to get more of a grimy, darker, grimdark look. Even some of the bits options, like a traditional Deathwing, like Terminator head, as opposed to like a regular Terminator faceplate there. Comparing it side by side with another shield. Again, carving some bullet holes in there, giving it a little bit more of a character, feel. Each model is kind of like its individual storyteller, as opposed to just being a model part of a unit. And here is the Sergeant that I'm working on. He's in the drying stage of the powder wash. It looks awesome at the end. I think I'll throw that into a post later. A couple decals spread about these guys here. Nothing too crazy. I was really batch painting these guys super quickly to get them on the field. The traditional cork basing I have since moved away with entirely. It does not look good in my opinion, but it was something quick and easy at the time. This is a model from the Warhammer Heroes grab bag boxes. The little Phobos Lieutenant here on a 40mm base. I actually needed this for a tournament, so I threw this together. Wanted to give him some additional flair and took a Raven Wing head with the wings and threw that on there, so he gives lethal hits to my infiltrators if I choose to do that. This Lieutenant here is the first video on the channel, so I'm not going to go too in-depth, but it is a Power Fist Plasma Combo Lieutenant, the hooded helm, and the little sigil, like, decoration from the Lionel Johnson model. Looks pretty cool. You guys can go back and watch this video. It's how to paint these guys really quickly, and it's a really fun one to watch. And this last Lieutenant is my favorite. It's kind of a mix between an Intercessor, like the upgrade sprue, and Master Lazarus, who is the Infantry Green Wing Captain. I used his Power Fist because it's got a unique sigil there, as well as his weapon-held hand. Aside that, you could see the model that I kind of kit-bashed for him specifically. I really wanted those winged helmet, so I kind of cut it off, the one where he's holding, and kind of kit-bashed it together pretty neatly. I did the best I can, and I'm excited to paint this model up in the near future. And lastly, we have a good old Apothecary, which is good to have for our Dark Angels army, as they accompany the Hellblasters really well. Just a traditionally white primed Apothecary with a green Dark Angel shoulder and helmet. They look really good, super simple. There's a few things I would change, but we're going to let it ride because it shows progression. With that being said, I hope you all enjoyed this video very much. It was just a quickie as I'm kind of away and in between projects. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, comment, and I love to get back to you. Take care and have a great day.